So
my daughter called me, telling me, "Oh, Dad, you're finally famous now. You're on TikTok." I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell?
You're like, man, like, hey, you like, dude, like, finally famous? Like, do you know the square footage you grew up in? Like,
Yo, but that's how they look at it.
Yeah, man.
You know,
Yeah.
they don't look at it how we looked at it and seen it like that. But 20 years, because I had to call Con, I'm like, yo.
TikTok is the the strip club.
Strip club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, if you can break it here. Big Boys Neighborhood, beautiful day in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen.
man.
Jeezy, welcome back to the neighborhood, brother.
What up, though?
Man, first
West,
off, we got to
West.
say congratulations, man. 20 years since TM 101, bro.
Wow.
Do you know what's crazy about that, bro? Is when you were making that album, did it feel like you were making a timeless collection?
It felt like I wanted to be heard, so I put my blood, sweat, I put everything in that first album and Trap or Die mixtape.
Oh, my God.
So I was already planning to not be here.
Really?
Yeah,
What do you mean by that?
I mean, you know, prison something else, because it just was, that's the type of time I was in. So the studio was like my sanctuary.
Yeah.
So I just put everything in it, because all I kept saying is if I could just get this album done, no matter what else happened, because I always thought I had one in me.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So just like I just wanted
So you
to,
put it all
everything,
in.
everything.
Hey, man, where did that come from, though? Because, of course, when you come from hustling, then the music business, it's like, oh, man, this is a legal hustle? Like, this is easy.
Right.
That's the way it felt for me with radio.
Right.
Radio is the first job I ever had in my life.
Right.
So I was like, man, if I could do, whatever whoop-de-whoop, I was like, this is easy. You know what I'm saying? So you brought that game to so-called to this game.
Well, no, what it was like, my mother, she just knew when I woke up in the morning, I was listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if it was, and Pac was like my therapist before I had a therapist. Like I would literally listen to Tupac all morning before I go to school. You know what I'm saying? Like Pain was my song. You know what I mean? Like, still thugging and, just whatever he did, it was my motivation. And when I got into music, I took a little bit of that because I understood what it did for me. And that's how I got into music, because I wanted to make a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Did you know that early on from listening to music, did you know you wanted to create music? Because there's a difference between being motivated by something or hearing something as opposed to I can create something.
Well, I started out first because I went through two eras. It was Tupac, for sure, right?
Right.
And, the only entrepreneurs I knew were the hustlers in my neighborhood. Yeah. So I watched that. But then the second set of entrepreneurs I saw was Cash Money.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be a CEO. You
Right,
know what I'm
right.
saying? So I started off like that. I started off like, paying for people in the neighborhood to go to the studio, all that. Then then people started getting in trouble and caught a couple of cases.
So you weren't the artist?
No. No, I was too cool for that.
Right.
Yeah, I was too
What made you say, man?
And I had other things to do.
You're like, man, I got somewhere else to be.
Yeah, I had to go get that bread.
But what make you go from I want to be the person that put people on? I got the bread to do that.
Right.
I want to be, I want to be the Cash Money guy. Honestly, I want to be Brian. You know what I'm saying? I want to be Bird, man.
All the artists went to jail.
Yeah.
All the artists went to jail. All the money was gone because I had spent all my money trying to put people on. And I'm sitting in this studio.
And you learning.
Yeah, because I was there
and those
every day.
are the most expensive mistakes, too.
Yeah, but I was there every day, so I was like literally trying to help them write. I just wanted to get it done. So my work ethic is
Were you writing then?
Yeah, because I got to tell you the story about writing. So I had my work ethic was different from everybody else's. So I would be in there all the time. So when everybody got jammed up, my man look at me and go, man, you might as well do it because you living the life that they all talking about. And that's how I started my own. Now going back, rewind. Now when I was living in Japan with my dad, when my dad was in the service, I had this girl in my homeroom class, and she wouldn't give me no play. Mm-hmm. So I started to write her poems.
See, I was wondering, did it start from poems and poetry? How young are you at that time, Jeezy?
I'm like 9.
Oh, gotcha.
Right, and I'm writing her poems, and it worked.
Yeah.
Because I was the country kid. I'm coming from Georgia. I got the crazy lingo. I talk a little slower than everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
So are you going to school on base with like American children?
Yeah.
American, okay.
Yeah. And
a little haiku, huh?
Yeah. and then that's how I kind of worked my move, and I saw it. Like I really actually saw the words work, and I'm like, damn. And I was good at it. Mm-hmm. My dad used to come in at me, what you doing, man? I'm like, yeah, I'm writing a poem. She gonna go. And over time, you know, she ended up being my girl for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Took her all the way to your double digits, huh? Did you turn 10 with her?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm about to turn 10 on you.
She's rocking with a real one.
But you know what's crazy about that, man? It's like you didn't know that you were writing your future too, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's what I say. Life happens. You know, the people think it happens to you. Life happens for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm a true believer in that. Like that was something that I would have never experienced if I wouldn't have been took out of my, you know, just my surroundings. Because I was able to think clearly, be free. You know, you in the hood, it's kind of like you can't write nobody no poems, man. They don't work like that.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
We still do it now.
right.
People, man, go write poem ass, man. You write love letters.
Right.
Oh, love letter right now. So
grab it off the table and take it and read it in front of the whole
read it in
class.
front of you. Yeah, look at your eyes, look at your lips, look at your thighs, look at your hips. Man, what the fuck was this?
Yeah, all that was going on.
Yeah, but then when does that turn into? Because at some point you walked away from it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not, and then you know there's real things that come with life and things that we need, things that we want to do. You know what I'm saying? So when the hustling aspect comes into it, you know, are you still doing this and that? You still writing, or now are you more just kind of listening and living?
I'm listening and I'm living, and I'm understanding that I'm collecting data. You see what I'm saying?
Did you know you knew that then?
Yeah, because I was an observer. That's how I was. I would literally learn for music, and they're gonna teach some of the big homies in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like I would literally learn. You know what I'm saying? Because people hear music and they like it because it sounds good. I was listening to it to learn. Like just like right now, the way I listen to podcasts, I sit there and listen to podcasts all morning.
Right.
Because I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? It's like
no, you're not about to come with one too, are you?
Right. No,
you have one?
God damn
it. Do you still have?
No, I don't have
Okay,
one.
thank you, Jesus. Because at one point, man, when y'all start getting in the game, I was like, dude, who am I going to interview? And then y'all came out with, especially during the pandemic, y'all shit got way more successful than mine.
Yeah, but now it's more so like, you know, because I do speaking, you know,
man,
all that stuff, you know, wrote books, the whole nine, but it's like all that came from staying curious. Like I'm just curious about nature. Like I could be sitting at the airport, talk to somebody, they can say they from Switzerland. I'm like, tell me about that.
Right.
What's there to do?
Had you always been that knowledge sponge?
1,000%.
Yeah, same.
And that's how I survived. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't trying to play the same game everybody was playing. I was trying to learn what I need to learn so I can move to the next level. That was my whole goal. Like, how do I navigate this?
You know what's wild, man, is seeing you from what we felt was like a day one as an artist. And seeing your growth. You know what I'm saying? Because there's sometimes, bro, where we don't get a chance to witness people growth.
Right.
You know, some of our best legends, we didn't see them grow and see what they could have become.
Right.
But watching your growth from just early on, whatever you taught us about your life, the streets, your hood, whatever it may be, to watching you do business and what, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like we didn't get a chance to see that with a lot of artists that we've seen take a natural path.
Right.
And it's crazy to sit here with you, man, and for us to be like kind of 20 years. And still having these dialogues and seeing where we are now.
Yeah, I received that. I think that, you know, and we all know the greats, the Pacs, the Bigs.
Yeah, man.
You know, even the younger generation. The thing is, it's just like talent is like 95, like talent is 5% of it. You know what I'm saying? Mental navigation is the rest. You know what I'm saying? Because you still got to navigate it. You're in this ecosystem of, you know, just bad energy. And you got to, and I mean like just not bad energy because of what's around you. I mean, just what you've been through, your traumas. You know what I'm saying? Your vices, you know, the demons you fighting. And it's just like you got to navigate through that, and then you still got to deal with the jungle. So it's almost like, how do you get on the outside of that? And it's all data. It's like what you learn. It's like wisdom, what you pick up as you go. And I'm the type of person, I was talking to the older people. I was just like asking questions. Because, you know, it's crazy. Like in any other culture, you know, the older you get, the wiser you are and the more people lean in. Black culture is different. Yeah,
and especially our genre too, though.
Right.
We got a this and that.
Right. And people don't, you know, give you your props for making it. And I think that the biggest thing for me was, you know, doing the work myself, to work on myself, to give myself permission to evolve and understand that I don't have to just be a certain way to do a certain thing. And then going back to it, the business was already in because I was learning business when I was in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was learning how to do business. I was learning how to negotiate. I was learning how to look at things and like say, okay, he failed doing that, so I'm not gonna do it that way.
Yep.
I'm gonna try it this way. And
that's what I do too, man. I always say, man, somebody else, like I've paid a lot of tuition into the School of Experience.
Yeah.
But also I've seen other people that paid tuition into the School of Experience that I was like, oh, I'm not doing that.
Because it's two things, and the thing is, education costs. Anytime I've done a bad business deal and it didn't go my way, I was like, oh man, well, I learned something. We can't do that again. Right. But education costs. But coming from where we came from, and, you know, thank God for being here, it's like the consequences was dire. It was death or prison. Yeah. So you can make a lot of mistakes. You make a few. Yeah. But you can't make a lot.
Does it trip you out how open the game is now too, though?
I don't like it.
Like, I look at stuff now and I'm like, when I was growing up, you didn't want people to know what you were doing. You know what I'm saying? You camouflage that shit like.
I still don't.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? like,
I ain't going live.
And everybody,
I ain't posting in real time.
So I see stuff now and I'm like, oh, it's a extra new day now.
Yeah, I mean, because it's all about instant gratification. You know what I'm saying? It's almost about like, you know, like it's the, you know, I hate to put it back. It's the guy that we all on the block hustling, and you know, I'm just going back to, you know, past tense, and you got a real pocket full of money, but then he got a pocket full of ones with a $20 bill on top. Yeah. Just trying to fit in. Yeah. Because he wants you to know that he out here. And that's not, we're not out here, you know, just extracurricular. Like, this is real life. You know what I'm saying? I just think this game is different because it's like, it's cool to be what they call it, relevant. You know, but that's for a moment. You know, I'm playing for legacy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing for forever. You know what I'm saying?
Do you ever think about if we had cameras back in the day?
Oh my God, I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now.
and not your fault. It'd be some old goofy ass motherfucker next to you. But we were just talking before you sat down, right? And we were talking about, man, if you had a fraction, because I remember we had conversations where you were going to the club and it was like a money battle. Yeah. You know?
Oh, you talking about like as far as Magic City?
Yeah. Yeah. That shit almost made me want to dance there.
No, don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. That'd be terrible.
Yeah. You're like, man, I got to start doing phoners with you, man. I ain't coming in.
But you got to understand, too, though, like the culture of it. And I think that's the part that people miss. Because I hear when people talk about it, like, that was stupid, that was ignorant, that was this, that was that. It was
a time, though.
But you got to understand, you know, Magic City was and I don't want to get too deep into it, but Magic City was an office, right? So imagine an office that's a hub, right? That's a melting pot for everybody that's around the world to do what you do. If it's entertainment, if it's politics, if it's street, and you know, if it's hustling, whatever it is, from Maine to Spain, everybody comes to this small building.
Hell yeah!
And you have to have status to be in there. So if you was like a young person like me, I knew all the girls personally. So they would tell me who was robbing, who was jacking, who was the police, who don't touch this person, don't talk to that person. So that was our ecosystem. But if you come in there and you really hustling, you get money, it ain't nothing to spend $100,000 if somebody watching you spend that and they come spend, you know, $2 million with you next week because it's marketing. And for me, it was marketing. So I'm getting out of the street element because I can't get into that. But when I was spending the money, I had my chain on that said Jeezy. Right. I had my jersey. I was marketing my music. I was
this budget money.
Taking care of the DJ. I was taking care of the girls they was dancing for. And my music broke out of Magic City. Right. That's how I started my career.
Worked.
It worked.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing in there.
Yeah,
the wings.
Using it, getting wings, trying to get you a $10 lap dance.
Yeah,
That's what you was doing.
I don't know what the hell I was doing in there.
But I'm forever indebted to Magic City. Right. Forever indebted. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the money that
I'm forever in debt to him.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But the money I spent, I'm not mad about it because it changed my life.
Right. Hell yeah.
It changed the quality of life of people around me. But I understood that. Now, I can't see everybody did that because everybody had different intentions. I had one of my homeboys tell me one day, like, man, we taking care of single moms. I was like, I never thought about it.
Right, yeah.
That's good. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to make it feel good. Like, man,
doing some philanthropy. This makes sense.
Man, then the single mom taking care of their kids, man. So.
But you would have
circle of life, man.
You would have everybody that had their own philosophy of what it was. And then you had just regular guys coming in there who wanted to feel that, You know, that rush, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just those chemicals you get when you're the center of attention, and it takes that sometime. But by the way, you know, if you don't have an end goal, that's why I say instant gratification it's the dangerous thing.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? And mind you, like I've seen a lot of people that have came and, you know, spent a lot of money and then they went away for a long time. Like I've seen it. So I feel for them. But at the same time, it's like that's why you always have to have a plan. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you're doing in life, just have a plan. You could be selling socks, have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is you're doing, just have a plan because it's going to dry up one day, right? Things are going to change. The time's going to change. Nobody's going to go in there and spend that type of money now. You know, now the last time I seen that type of money was when the PPP loans came. I was crazy.
Yeah, it was in there. Hell yeah.
I was like,
now
wow.
everybody locked up.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's another thing, you know, and I don't want to talk down on nobody, but that's not a plan.
Right.
If you get that type of money, you can change your life. Why the hell you going to spend it?
Yeah, why you in there?
Right.
Well, you know what? They probably were in there taking care of single moms too, though.
Yeah, but the single moms don't take care of them right now. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that respectfully.
But
like,
you knew that you had an out plan too, though.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Take the money, go do what you got to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself established, and now you can go in there and you can have fun. You can have fun because you're legitimate now.
Yeah, man.
And that was my goal. I wanted to be legit. I wanted to buy my mom a house. I wanted to be able to wake up every morning and not feel like that I got to look over my back. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of things changed about me when I changed the way I looked about it. Because I was like, you know, I was a functioning, you know, I was drinking Cristal every night, Waffle House every night. I was 260. I'm 5'8", yeah, because I was just living on the edge. But like, soon as I changed my mindset and I started to like really look at it as a business and look at it as marketing, everything changed. Because now I want to be who I want to be. So now I'm working out, drinking water. I'm looking good. I'm coming in. Every time they see me, I got a little edge. You know, of course, I got something new in the parking lot, but but it's marketing. I'm not looking at it like I'm wasting money. I'm looking at it like I just bought the new woo-woo, whatever that is. But by the time I go to the club, you know, for a month or two and switch up cars, everybody talking about the old car, but now my name is ringing in the city and the music is making sense because they seeing me live what I'm saying. And that was the difference. That was marketing. That was a plan. And it wasn't instant gratification because it took years. So it wasn't a thing where I went in there for, you know, a summer and it was on. It's like it took years. Like DJ Fernando, God rest his soul, he used to literally go in there and be like, yo, over the mic, like, geez, I hate this. This is whack, you know, in front of everybody.
A song of yours?
A lot of songs.
Oh, damn. Right. Like, man, you couldn't have doing psst.
Nah, because that's the type of stage it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I kept going until I got better. And I never forget it, man. I was doing something and he called me, said, yo, you got to come up here. And this is after Trap or Die came out. Shout out to DJ Drama. Trap or Die came out and it took about 6 months. And I literally walked in the club and it was like I was a whole new person. And it was almost like they would play this mixtape for 3 hours straight. No, like the whole tape, drops and all. You never heard of this. And everybody was singing word for word. Money flew the whole time. And that's when I knew it worked. You know what I'm saying? And it's worked so much. Before I signed to Def Jam, I flew the entire Def Jam staff to Atlanta.
Right.
And took them to Magic City.
So they could see.
See it. And that's how I got my deal. Yeah.
Hey, man, when did we first start hearing just either the word trap or trap music? Is that a thing that everybody? Is there a few people that say, "Oh, it started here first"?
Yeah.
Or right.
I don't subscribe to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like this is art.
Right.
You know, I let me look at Tupac like gangster music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was bigger than that for me, and it's just like I just feel like I don't want to be boxed into that. Now, if somebody wants to take the title, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't subscribe to that because it's so minute. And if you come from the trap. And you really been in the trap, the last thing you want your music to be trap music. Right. That's like one sided. Right? That's like standing in front of a fire barrel, keeping your hands warm. You know what I'm saying? Like while you out there with a Dickie a thermal suit on, like that's the trap. And you watching your back, and the police might come. That ain't what we making, man. We changing lives out here. You know, man, we moving like at one point in time, our music was the biggest genre of music it was. Yeah, man. So it's almost like we changing lives. Like you can go to Switzerland, you can go to Morocco, they listening to what we doing. So it's like, why are we gonna just put ourselves in a position where we say trap music? You know what I'm saying? I think it's art. It's so much bigger than that. And I think that's the the issue with it. We get caught up in this lifestyle that we got to live because they're naming it that. You see what I'm saying? Like now you got to stick to that, you know. And I don't know Pac personally, but if somebody pushing that agenda on you, like you the king of gangster music, you gonna kind of lean into that,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Because that's your niche. So even when he was talking about thug life, I took a page from that because thug life meant something bigger to me. It mean he was a rebel, he was a revolutionary. But even thug motivation, when you go back to 20 years, that's how I kind of looked at it. Like I'm motivating the people that look and feel and talk and sound and live like me. You know what I'm saying? And then once I motivate them, I'm going to motivate the rest of the world. But that was the goal. But it was bigger than just motivating thugs. So when you hear Michael Phelps, you know, God bless his dear Hulk Hogan riding around listening to Jeezy, he ain't a thug, but he feeling that motivation.
Did that trip you out how
Absolutely.
your music got accepted, not just with that, around the world?
Yeah.
Like the first passports the stamps that come from music. And when you got to think about what you put us on the block.
Right.
And these are and everybody got a block somewhere, but they could identify with it.
Right.
Did that trip you out, man, how music, when people say, oh, music is universal, but how big music is and what music does for people, the same way how you would say, man, I listen to Pac.
Right.
To some people, thug motivation, you know what I'm saying? That's you know what I'm saying? That's their thing.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was doing it, I was just doing it because I wanted to make a difference. And when I was making those albums in the first beginning, I just really wanted to be heard. So I put everything into it. I never thought past my surroundings.
Yeah.
The minute I saw it was real is when, shout out to Boo, when Boo brought me 6 songs over to Patchworks. And I was working on.
Now, which Boo is this? Is Akon brother?
Akon's brother. Boo.
Yep.
And he brought me 6 songs on the disc. And by the time I went through the disc, I remember I ran outside. I ain't had no shoes on because I was like really trapping in the studio. Literally, I was like living in there. And he said, yo, I got these records from Con. I run out to the car and get them. Boom, I bring them back in. I'm getting ready to go to the club after this. So we running through the songs, and I get to the last song. It's Soul Survivor. And I do the record. I do like one verse, right? And I go jump fresh. We going to the club. Shakir Stewart pulls up. He like, yo, what's going on? And I'm playing him the record. He like, yo, this is crazy. I'm like, whatever. So we go to the club. We come back. I'm starting to work on a new record. Shakir pulled me to the side and say, no, finish this record. And I was like, I'll finish it tomorrow. He's like, no, finish it now. So I just threw another verse on there and left it at that. All right, boom. Now I'm focused on Trap or Die, Streets is Watching, and all that, because that's like who I am, right? And one of the interns that worked at the studio leaked the album before it came out. So it was like a month before it came out. So people had already, and by the way, I was going through it because all my money was tied up in, I probably had like $3 million tied up in 101 before the label even paid me back. You know what I'm saying? And it was all my bread tied up in it. So now I'm looking at my album Bootleg, and I'm thinking that I'm never gonna sell records again, that my life is over.
And this is $3 million hustle dollars?
Yeah, it's $3 million hustle.
Like,
Yeah, I had a real come to Jesus. I had to really pray about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually caught a lawsuit about it. You know, I couldn't let that one slide.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man.
And but what I'm saying is the record was on the bootleg. And shout out to all the bootleggers, because even though they was making money and we thought they was really, hurting us, they really spreaded my music across the world, because I couldn't be in D.C., Detroit, Chicago, and all these places at one time. They was doing that, right? So by the time they got the bootleg, Soul Survivor was already on fire. So I would literally go from being the guy that you walk through the airport, they'd be like, what's up, Jeezy? What's up, Snowman? To like, people I'm coming through the international when they're like, Akon and Young Jeezy. And I'm just like,
my God.
You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I'm like, damn. And I know Con from like being around the way. I didn't even know he was that big. Right. And I'm being honest. Like,
when Boo handed you the 6 beats,
right,
did Con have the hook on there already?
Yeah. The hook was already on Soul
Yeah,
Survivor.
man.
Yeah. All I had to do was put my verses, but I didn't realize how big Con was. I tell him that every time I see him overseas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been overseas doing music. I lived overseas, but I've never been over there doing music. I'm doing music for Atlanta and in the streets and the hustle.
Did you
that.
almost sleep on it?
Yeah. I fought Shakir. Like, I fought him on it. He was like, yo, this got to be the singer. I'm like, no, we going with Trap or Die. And he was just like, nah, bro, we got to go with this. So by that time, Def Jam had already made an executive decision.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know.
Do what you do with your little song, but we're going with this. And they was right. You know what I'm saying? I would have went with it, but I thought it was too far outside of what I was doing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And were you afraid of that being a so-called introduction?
I was afraid of going commercial because, again, I was caught in that mindset of I got to keep it street. And I didn't know what that meant.
You know what's crazy about that shit, too, though, is that was a street record. But it wasn't when you first felt it, it wasn't a street record to you.
The biggest record I got to the date.
Yeah.
It just went, it was just TikTok, #1 for like.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? It was like 20 years later, I'm like
so crazy, man. Hey, dude, the rebirth, because it never left us.
Right.
But then the fan base
took it.
It's crazy what TikTok or what social media can do. You know what I'm saying? Because even when you think about that Keisha Cole Love, that's always been that's from the first.
Culture classic.
Yeah, and it's always been one. And then once social media got, man, it increased what the concerts look like. It increased the value of the beautiful name that she has. So
my daughter called me, telling me, "Oh, Dad, you're finally famous now. You're on TikTok." I'm
like,
man,
hey, you like, dude, like, finally famous. Like, do you know the square footage you grew up in?
but that's how they look at it.
Yeah, man.
You know, they don't look at it how we looked at it and seen it like that. But 20 years, because I had to call Con. I'm like, yo,
TikTok is the strip club.
Strip club.
Yeah. Man, if you can break it here.
But this is the thing, though, that I did appreciate, because even with TikTok, I was just a little bit, reserved. I had some reserves about how to engage it because it didn't feel like it was in line with my purpose of my brand. So for it to happen organically, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, oh, okay, cool, because I didn't have to do nothing.
Yeah, you didn't do the too much,
right?
On there rapping your own songs, and taking pictures of your food and everything.
And you had people at the label telling you, in the beginning, you got to do some TikTok content. I'm looking at them like, who? Yeah, I'm not.
You gotta do a dance,
right?
You're like, and then you have to, even though I'm a trap star, I'm a super star.
Yeah, and that, and speaking of which, even with shout out to all my day ones, even with the 20 years of Thug Motivation, and celebrating that and doing this Symphony tour. Shout out to the Color of Noise Orchestra. Shout out to Adam Blackstone.
Let's talk about that, bro. Because for one,
shout out to Adam Blackstone. Shout out to Derek Hodges. Shout out to DJ Drama, DJ Ace. Like, this has probably been one of the most phenomenal tours. And what I was going back to is you gotta be 100% unapologetically you, right? And do what's organic to you. Because so many people was telling me before I got ready to do this tour that people would never come out, dress up, black tie event.
Right.
It was totally sold out before I hit the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was like everywhere I went, every city I tapped into, you had our people out there dressed to the nines and date nights and coming out and looking good. But we're celebrating Thug Motivation. So when I hear you say about a lot of artists didn't make it because they didn't give themselves permission to evolve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to walk in your truth and not get caught in this stigma of trap music or you got to be a certain type of way for us to accept you. It's just like, I'm going to be this way whether you accept me or not, because this is my truth. It's bigger than music. Like, this is who I am. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like when you doing this tour and you singing this, I've never been to an orchestra until I did my first show.
Right.
So you're taking this experience around the world where people never get a chance to see that. That's a beautiful thing. Like, you're giving people an experience that they wouldn't have went and got on their own, and they feel comfortable because it's in their comfort zone, and it's around people that they feel like they can, associate with.
And that'd be not just yours. I think that'd be a lot of people's first orchestra experience. And it's crazy, man, because when they did just a run of the NPR, the Tiny Desk, I don't know who they had over there for these certain runs that they started doing, bro.
Yeah, my brother, I forget his name, but he dope. Yeah. And that's what it's really, because it's getting back to that. It's like, celebrating 20 years or something. It's art. You see what I'm saying? And like, I don't want you to just, my art is art. Don't put my art in street.
Right,
Right,
You know
what I mean? The street.
It's over there hanging on that wall.
I'm an urban philosopher. I'll take that. But don't put me over here like just in this section because of what you think. You don't see where this art is going because people, it's growing, it's evolving with people. It's like if I go get a bottle of 2005 whatever red wine, it should be better now.
Right. It aged well, like fine wine.
Right. And you should age well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is your art, this is who you are. And I just think that's the issue with the culture is like nobody wants to age. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to stay young. And it's just like, that's a hard fight.
Yeah. Did you sit with Kirk Franklin as well?
I did.
Man, that Den of Kings, bro.
Yeah, I did. Shout out to Kirk Franklin, Tyler Perry.
I just did one. Yeah, y'all had the one.
Yeah.
I just did one as well, man. I think on the episode that I did with Brother Kirk, it was me, Game, Snoop,
that's great.
Matt Barnes, and Deion Cole.
Oh yeah.
But it's and the reason why I bring that up, man, is just the mature conversations that we have now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the evolution I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool for us
talk
to
about therapy,
all that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where the trailblazers are shining because you gotta be brave to take them steps.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be fearless to tell somebody these types of truths. You know what I'm saying? Because they already look at you a certain way. But you start to tell somebody, I got a therapist, I got a life coach, all type of things. But that's so I could be a better leader, brother, father, all the things. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like that's where the elevation comes from. Because when you work on yourself, you're not afraid to walk in your truth. I'm not this is Snowman. If I'm telling you to show up and put on a black tux to come to an orchestra show, you like, damn, okay, well, I'm gonna show up and you get an experience.
Will you do Thug Elevation?
Elevation?
Yeah.
That sounds like a dope name. We might need to trademark it right quick.
Yeah, no. Can you get somebody on? I got it, bro.
But speaking of Thug Elevation, let's talk about it. So Thug Elevation would be doing this 23 city tour, sold out to the nines.
Talk about the orchestra though.
That's what I'm about to go to.
Is it 101 piece?
That's
orchestra?
what I'm about to tell you. So when I went on the tour, I did 30 piece.
Right.
30 piece.
Okay.
So everybody from the shout out to the West Coast, shout out to the whole West Coast, everybody out here. Everybody's like, yo, why Jeezy ain't come to the West Coast?
Right.
And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm saving something special for the West Coast because I want to do it.
Because you never forgot about us.
No, not one time.
You talked about us your whole career, bro.
And I wanted to do it in a different way because I know that this is like the difference between down south and the Midwest, all that, it's close. So you can move people around differently.
Right.
But if you're talking about moving, 101 people, that's just different. So I say, you know what? Let's go set up in Vegas. I'm going to do this special for the West Coast. So everybody in the West Coast, if you don't know, I'm doing a residency in Vegas for the Thug Motivation 20-year anniversary. I'm doing it at Planet Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And the dates are October 31st, November 1st.
And that's the Masquerade.
That's the Masquerade. I'll tell you about that. And then the Nutcracker will be December 19th and the 21st.
Yeah.
101 piece orchestra. 101. Celebrate 101.
Yeah, man.
Never been done before. By the way, 2 things. So nobody culturally has ever took an orchestra on tour. So we made history there. Now we coming back to make some more history on the West Coast in Vegas. Get your tickets now for 101 piece orchestra in Planet Hollywood. And the Masquerade is the theme for the October dates. And I know the West Coast go hard on Halloween, so we just wanted to kind of give them a vibe. And that's the 31st and November 1st. And December 19th and the 21st is the Nutcracker. Now, I always don't ask me why.
Right.
I always want to do a Nutcracker theme show.
And now you can.
Right, in Vegas. But I want the whole West Coast to know this is for y'all. This is something special. I wanted to do something big. I wanted to do something different for the West Coast, and I wanted it to be an experience. So get your tickets, fly out to Vegas, and just come catch a vibe. Bring your girl, bring your wife, I ain't gonna tell you bring your side people, but you know what I'm saying. I'm getting that.
Vegas, right?
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
But come celebrate 20 years of motivation, and not just 20 years of my project. 20 years of you.
Yeah, man.
20 years later, you can put on a tux. Your girl can put on one of those nice black dresses or the sparkly dresses. And you guys can come and have a good time. And we're not just listening to trap music. We were celebrating art. We celebrating culture. We celebrating legacy. You know what I'm saying? We celebrating Black excellence.
Yeah.
We celebrating.
What made you challenge yourself to do something this big, though? Because it could have been easier.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you could have literally been like, hey, you know, man, take the 360.
Right.
But what made, because this right here, bro.
Independently, though.
Yeah.
Independent. I did this tour myself. Shout out to my team. We did this.
Really?
I did this whole tour myself.
Ooh. But you know what I think with that too, man? I think that doesn't fog the vision either, though. Because people used to, you know, back in the days, you know, independent was a scary word. If you weren't on a label, it was like, oh, he can't get on such and such. He independent. Now people don't want to be on these major labels.
But let me take you back, though. The only reason I took a deal because I didn't want to go to prison.
Right.
Let's talk about that. Only reason I took a deal because I could have did it then, but I didn't know it was going to work. Right. Independent to me is the difference between taking consignment or going out here and getting it yourself. I ain't taking no consignment.
Yeah.
I am the bank.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to invest in myself, and that's what makes it fun for me, Big, because I came from a world that I had to believe in myself. So even when I'm talking to my team, I'm like, y'all, I see this. This is possible. This can really happen. We can really do it. We went and sat down with all the major you know, just firms, and they just always just like, we don't know who wants to see an orchestra. I'm like, this is what my people need. Like, look at what's going on. Like, we need elevation. Man. Like, we need something. And we need a higher vibration.
We want to dress up. Yeah. We want to go. We want to celebrate, and we still want to do this.
And ain't nothing like when you seeing like, and they don't do that. They do this all night. You know
hey, man, but when you think about, even let's just say the orchestra, the orchestra for the Vegas shows is 101-piece orchestra, right?
Yep.
How many people are, because we literally just came from Vegas over the weekend, right? Me, Ani, Mariana, it was hard just trying to find us. You know, I'm like, where Mariana at? You know, we left her. Remember we left you one night? How many bodies are you actually moving? And I know you got a great team.
Yeah, it'll probably be about, with that, maybe about almost 170 to 200 range. Yeah.
Damn.
But this is the thing, though, Big. It's almost like,
dude, you can't step off the curb wrong. We need you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But it's so real because, you know, you have to break barriers and you have to, you know, trailblaze out here because it's twofold. It's definitely for the coaches, for the people. It's for the people like yourself. You ain't coming to no rap show and bringing your wife to something. You feel like you step on somebody's shoe. Right, yeah. You have to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to call Snoop.
Yeah. You know hell, shit, call me.
Right. But at the same time, it's just like, I want to elevate, you know, that's my purpose, to elevate and inspire my culture. And then this second fold is, I want the generation behind me to see, look, it's okay to evolve in this. It's okay to be great. It's okay to exceed everybody's expectations and live in your truth and still be accepted. Because, you know, when you start, I remember, you know, when I first started, I never forget it, man. Rest in peace of Slim. There used to be with YG. We went to this event one day, and he so used to seeing me like with, just like street clothes on. And one day I had this suit on, man. He just couldn't get over it.
Right.
He just he's like, yo, what you doing with this suit? I'm like, but he couldn't believe. But I'm like, Slim, this is where it's about. This is where it's going. You got to evolve, bro.
Have you seen YG on stage?
YG is
That's
I work with, and let me give myself some flowers. Shout out to my little brother YG. YG's first project, I made YG and Mustard come to Atlanta, Georgia, and we locked in, and we did his first project in Atlanta, Georgia, on my watch.
But we've had this conversation 2 years ago.
And I sat there, and I remember he said to me, and I looked him dead in the face, he said, yo, I got the name of the album.
Ooh.
And I said, what's the name of the album? He said, Bompton. And I looked at him, and I said, now, why would we do that? We separating people already. I said, Jizzle, they ain't it, bro. I said, go listen to the music, come back. He came back. He's like, My Crazy Life. I said, that's it. Now let's go finish what it's like for your crazy life. And I never walked in with the BTP. He was playing it, and I looked at him, I said, that's the intro. He said, yo. I said, that's the intro. And that's how we worked the whole project. And it's just like, YG is one of the most talented people I've ever ran into, one of the most authentic. And I love the fact that he's living his truth.
Yeah.
He loves fashion. He always had, man. You know, he just always been, you know, a front runner when it comes to that. Because I came to the studio one time, He had like a jersey on with Stacey Adams. I couldn't figure it out. I'm just trying.
With some bell-bottom pants.
I was trying to process. Yeah. No, yeah, Stacey Adams like the Sharp Boys.
You know, real talk. But that also show you too, man. Like dressing up the game is beautiful too.
But it's all about it's all about like changing and growing is two different things. You know, you change, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell nobody how to be. But growing is something different. It's like you should be allowed to, it's your life. You only live one time. It's like be all that you can be. Do all that you can do. Change all that you can change, because it's all about impact. And it's about people seeing you live in your truth that make them feel like they can live in their truth. And that's how we keep this going, because we don't own the NBA.
Right.
We don't own the NFL. We don't own none of that stuff. But this is our thing. You know what I'm saying? This is our thing. So, like, just leave it better than you found it.
But how do you not keep yourself in the box? Because we got a lot of we got the enoughs. And I explain this to a lot of people, man. You know, with you, Jeezy, it's like, you know, you got to be hood enough, street enough, corporate enough, gangster enough, black enough, brown enough, you know, rich enough. You know, all these enoughs, these boxes that we got to fill, right? But then also, it's hard, because sometimes we want to keep ourselves in the box because we look like, what if I, you know, am I still gonna be hard to my core audience? You know, did you ever get in your way with pushing back the growth or the change?
In the beginning, because I sipped the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I sipped the Kool-Aid. And I mean, the last time I got locked up in L.A. when I was on tour, I ain't do nothing.
Right. Yeah.
I ain't do nothing. Here
I am. This the one I get locked up for?
Like, and now I'm locked up on my last date of the tour with Wiz Khalifa, and I'm sitting and I'm going like, damn, like I gotta figure this out. And I never forgot, when I got out, I went and shot a video in downtown L.A. And I ain't never been that depressed in my life, because I just couldn't understand. And I was just like, okay, well, clearly, you know what I'm saying, because they trying to pin something on me that happened in the Bay. Had nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, just by the way that I was carrying myself, it made it easy for them to put me in this situation.
The usual suspects.
Right. And now, cause it's so say, baby. And now I'm looking at it and I'm going like, well, if I elevate my game and I put myself on another level, then I don't have to deal with any of this anymore, because I already moved militant. Like, I've been doing this my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I understand how to move. I'm like Navy SEAL 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do this. But at the same time, it's just like, that's one thing in the street. But what am I doing for my mindset in the world? And that's when I just started to understand, like, it's okay to learn more. It's okay to have different conversations. It's okay to get mentors and all this stuff I'm picking up. And it just made it that much easier, because I got a support system of people who see my vision and they support me. Man. So I don't have to go back to the same people that's sitting around that just want to smoke all day, and you know, and we see them out. I'm like, shit, you see them out, you better dap them up, keep it moving. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you ain't about to cost me $2, $3, $4 million again. You know, paying for lawsuits because y'all getting into this. And I'm not knocking nobody. I'm just saying that it's the most beautiful thing in the world when you can walk in your truth. Because I ain't got nothing to prove. I done did everything they talking about. But guess what? I'm still here. I ain't got no stains on my jersey. Not one. Not one. You know what I'm saying? I done won some chips, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done been in the game. So it's just like seeing someone who's played the game and went on to another level. And I'm just say this to kind of, just so you can kind of, you know, just put it into context. Magic Johnson was an amazing basketball player. He really was.
Say it.
But when I look at his life now, I'm like, man, look at what he accomplished. Look at the quality of life he's changing with the people around him. But he's still Magic Johnson. Nobody knew he was doing business the way he was doing business before then. This man owned the Dodgers and this, that, and not just because of the monetary stance. It's the fact that he was brave enough to step out there. Because the first thing they were saying about athletes was they were slow and they wasn't smart. He went against that. Now you got athletes that are young now. They entrepreneurs, because they looking at that going, I'm trying to get me
that magic.
I'm trying to get me a cookie, and I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be on that yacht.
I'm trying to get me an orchestra now.
But I'm being for real. Like, when I see that, that's motivation for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, we all played the game, but what you gonna do after that? Are you gonna just be stuck in that space because that's the only time people accepted you?
Pass me the ball.
Right.
Somebody pass me the ball.
You out there playing 3-on-3 or doing the big three because you just want to still be seen.
Yeah, which is dope as hell. Shout out to Ice Cube and the big three.
Cube,
you know?
Yeah, I'm 5'8", so I can't rock with it right now. But I love Cube and the big three. But my thing is, I just want all my people to know that, like, don't let these people box you in. Because once you're boxed in, you're stuck to a certain mind state. You're stuck. It's like putting a car in reverse and it getting stuck and it can't go forward. Mm-hmm. And the consequences are dire. You know what I'm saying? And you don't get a second chance to live this life. It's like, I'm going to be all I could be every time. And especially seeing people that inspire me to go out here and inspire others. But the reality of it is we're so busy trying to impress the people that are around us.
Yes, sir.
That don't even see the vision.
Mm-hmm.
Then to go get in some other circles where people are going to support whatever vision that you have.
Let me ask you this, man. Mm-hmm. In your head,
yes,
right now, and you've been to rehearsals and everything.
Yep.
What does that orchestra sound like?
Man, magic, brother. It sounds is I can't. And by the way, there is a version of Thug Motivation 101 that's out right now. That's on all the streaming platforms with the Color of Noise Orchestra. So if you want to hear it live, you can listen to the show. And it's TM 101 Live, 20th anniversary. And what it sounds like is, it sounds like, just imagine a Rolls Royce, old school, right? Classic, right? And then you got this brother just driving that just know exactly where he going, and he looking like it, he feeling like it, and he got his head on his shoulders, and he's living his best life. That's how I feel like that sounds, because the first album was made with so much uncertainty and pain, and this one was made from such a place of an abundance and love and support and just vision that it's two different worlds, but it's clear to see that these were two different attempts and approaches within a 20-year span. And I just want to shout out to Derek Hodges and the Color of Noise and Adam Blackstone for helping me put it together, because I used to sit around and listen to live albums all the time, like Sade, Maxwell, and I used to always be like, damn, I want me one of these. And it happened, but it happened with an orchestra. And it happened while I was on tour. This is a live recording of it. And to answer your question is, it's one of the most fulfilling things I've ever been a part of, because I always associated orchestras, wine, watches, vacation spots with success. And, we used to watch the old mob movies, wearing a suit, tuxedo. Where I come from, the only time we wore suits was to court and funerals, right? And now you get a chance to put this on and go celebrate. You know what I'm saying? And you asking the question, I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there right now so we don't got to even worry about it. Everybody that's sitting in this room has a ticket for the first show.
Remember you said that.
In November 30th.
These
October
cameras are on
31st.
too.
I got you. October 31st. Just get that.
Now, let me
ready.
ask you this. If we can't make it to the 31st, because that's Halloween.
Yeah.
Can I go to first?
Absolutely.
All righty.
Done deal.
I got to get my suit up and hammer.
man. And that's everybody in this room. And I want to ask you,
Hold on.
What do you think?
Brian too?
Brian going too.
Right.
Brian locked in, baby. But
Nicole,
and I'm so.
Oh, you're not going to Vegas? Okay.
She can't go to Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's like,
she got that bracelet on her ankle.
Okay, that's what I understand. You can cut it off and leave it in the car and put it back on, right? By the time they figure it out, you can go.
You be back.
It's just the reason why I'm so passionate about it, because I just hope that this inspires culture, man. Because I'm just like, we get in these positions where we run in these Fortune 500 companies and we get caught up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we on top. Mm-hmm. We live a life, man. Like, we make impact. You go out and people, like, love you for what you do. But it's just like, and shout out to one of my mentors, TD Jakes.
Yes, sir.
He asked me one day, he's like, where you taking them? Where you leading them to? And I was like, it's coming to me. But to a better quality of life is where I'm trying to lead. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand that it takes courage to get out here and take these chances where you're already set. Like you said, I'm already good. Mm-hmm. The money already made. The plaques are already there. What else are you doing this for? And to be honest, it's to elevate culture. It's to show them, hey, look, man, we great too. We can grow too. We can do this just as well, if not even better. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you see at these shows, you see, you know, meet and greets, older gentlemen. Yeah, I brought my son, man.
Yeah.
You know, he wanted to see you, man. I brought him, and you know, and son got on tux too. Or you see some, you know, woman that brought her husband, celebrate the anniversary.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? You see people that just flew in from Maine or Argentina that just catch the show. It's just like you start to see and understand that you're motivating more people outside of what you know. And to me, that's all the inspiration and the motivation I need. But at the same time, is I know how I felt the first time I put on a tuxedo. Yeah, man. I know what type of pride that gave me. So a lot of those people are leaving that venue going, I could do this. I got the confidence to do this. Actually, I like this.
And when you walk in, you just know you look good, feel
you look good. And people are going by the dress code. I mean, people are actually wearing that. But again, you know, suits, I mean, you know, that's why businessmen wear suits, you know, most of the time. It brings confidence. So you got these guys coming in, they putting these suits on, and they ain't put a suit on it, you know, in years. And their wife telling them, like, baby, you look good.
I'm going to come in with the name still on my shit right here.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm coming with the tag still on mine. Like, B, you supposed to cut that off. Like, oh, all right.
Right, but you know, you go to dinner, she talking about you go to dinner next week, you put on another suit. She's like, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I
got to go get some more suits.
Right.
You like this suit, player?
But all that, and also, too, you know, while we on the subject of motivation and inspiring, shout out to my comrade, DJ Drama. If you know anything about us, we've been doing this for 20 years, a little bit over 20 years, because my mixtape started first. And we go everywhere from Streets is Watching, The Trapper Die. But however, on my birthday, September the 28th,
come on,
this Sunday, I will be releasing Still Snowin' with DJ Drama. And this is my new mixtape for my day ones. And I tell you this, I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to even play with you, man. This right here is it. I'm not even going to hold you. And again, I'm going to say this. I am giving myself permission to walk in my truth.
Yes, sir.
And I hope that people understand and see that. And also, I want to throw this out there, too. I will be having an album release party via live on Instagram with DJ D Nice. So we're gonna do an album release party live on Instagram Live. So we're gonna tap in. So it'll be on my Instagram Live and D Nice, and we're gonna just rock through it. And we're gonna celebrate for my birthday. It's Snow Day. It's official. September 28th. DJ Drama, Snowman,
that's dope.
Still Snowing, and it's this project is so amazing. Shout out to Dr. Fahamo Peak, who was one of my favorite artists. I got all of his work in my house, and he actually painted the cover. He actually made a piece, and we auctioned it off at my nonprofit, for my nonprofit, and that's the cover for the album. Shout out to DJ Toomp and Don Cannon. They produced it, and this gonna be this gonna, like Tip say, it's gonna be a stone cold groove.
Hey man, I love where you at though, bro. I love where you at, man, and I enjoyed seeing the journey as well.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
And you as well, bro. Like I told my team, I said, listen, we going to the West Coast. Our first stop gotta be Big Boy.
Thank you,
just
brother.
Out of respect, man, and we appreciate what you do for culture, man, and giving people platforms to really, you know, just express themselves and always being in support of. I watch how you support and support people personally. Like, it's personal. I see this. I watch this. And everybody that's on the team. So we appreciate y'all, man. I just had to stop up here first. I ain't checking in. I ain't doing none of that.
Right, no.
I had to stop here first.
Yeah. Hey, man, but thank you for coming into the neighborhood, Jeezy.
Thank you guys
Always
for
a pleasure to see you, my brother.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
Man, I'll see you on November 1st as well.
November 1st.
Yes,
for everybody
Vegas.
out there. Yep. Vegas is for you, West Coast. This is your show. Pull up. Get your tickets now. Planet Hollywood. October 31st, November 1st, Big Boy be there. You'll see him.
Man.
And then December 19th, December 21st. This is all for the West Coast. Everybody else is invited, but this is for you guys. Pull up in Vegas and let's have a ball. Let's celebrate life. Let's celebrate 20 years of Thug Motivation. And let's celebrate 20 years of you.
And keep motivating us as well, brother.
Love it. Appreciate you.
Jeezy in the neighborhood, Big Boy's neighborhood.